I do apologize. This is a continuation of where I was reading for those who missed the other part of the show. So, again, this is David with Creatacast. I'm getting into finishing up the Animals Know. It's in my book, Hell's Waiting Room and Other Stories. And I left off, I do believe, let's say, Clear the Way, Girls. So I will continue reading from this point if you have missed it and just tuning in for the first time. If you want to catch up, The Animals Know is in the book Hell's Waiting Room and Other Stories. And I will definitely reread this at one point. I did get caught between time crunch, but I want to finish it for those who have been listening. So, Clear the Way, Girls. That's Coach for sure. I'd recognize his baritone cadence anywhere. A cold cloth, good something to cover my face from those looking at me. I feign the passed out look. Look at his bruises. Ew, my God, I want to rage at her to get her out of the room, but I didn't have to. Get out of here and fetch the nurse. Apparently you aren't mature enough to handle yourself. Thanks, Coach. The sound of frustrated exasperations from the girls and the pat-pat-pat of their feet signify the departure from the room. The creak and groan of the outer door can be heard loudly. The weight room must be empty. What time is it? The soothing cloth helps, and the return of the weight room music confirms that school was still in session. More than one pair of footsteps races down the stairs, conjoined with the boiler room. Instead of pat, 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 it's clack, clack, clack. The principal or other teachers, they wear dress shoes instead of sneakers. Hey, Sam. Cliff? The principal was a good guess. I could feel his gaze through the white cloth. Oh my. Should we call CPS instead of an ambulance? Those bruises look pretty severe. I would have him meet us at the hospital. Some of the bruises I can see are from practice, but these here on the inner thigh and back can't be. My back? How did they find me? Must have been on my side or something when they found me. There must be someone else in the room. I feel Coach stand up and away, but the pressure receded, but hands are still working out my muscles and rubbing another cloth on my chest and abs. I try to move. For some reason I feel exposed and trapped. Firm hands hold me in place, but they are soft, not a guy for sure. Angela, I think we have it covered. You want to walk with me to the office and tell us how you found him? Very unexpected that she should find me. If it's the Angela Angie that I know. My left eye opens slightly and apparently under its own force. Yes, it is her, but why? Okay, Mr. Connie, I will tell you everything I know. More shoes racing up and down the stairs. Darkness pervades after trying to get up. The pain really made itself known when Angela left. I can't quite double over. Abs hurt too bad. Like being carried by pallbearers, I float in midair. Varying degrees of support carry me upwards to heaven or hell, I don't know. Camera phones. I can hear them and the snickers from my peers. The other wrestlers let me know right away what they think. Pussy! Ha, must have been raped by Angie Dandy while cutting weight for Eagle. Eagle, we wrestle them tomorrow. But it's not looking good for me to be able to go out there and do that, damn it. Nah, he was just cutting to your weight class to take it from you, loser. Thanks, Tom. I can always count on you to jump to my defense. I feel weak. How can I be a lion in this jungle when I can't defend myself? The animals smell blood and come in for the kill. There are no remains left for the EMTs to save. The copper taste of blood fills my mouth, drowning as the liquid fills my lungs. Someone notices I am crashing and the pace outside quickens. The air is crisp but consuming. The smell of wet grass or rain in the air is brief, then a hint of gasoline before the sterile bleachy clean of the ambulance. Dad can't afford the ambulance. He's really going to be pissed now. I can picture him. The house furniture is ugly. There are browns, oranges, and lime greens from the 70s, adding further shame to the scene of my father lying in his own vomit and urine. There's resin from his evening toque still on his fingers. Matted hair, cigarette butts, and cockroaches will be the first things police see when they walk through the door. The door will come off his hinges when they go to knock. His knee-jerk reaction will be to scream at me as if I were there. When he comes to, he will have to brush off the crumbs of last night's potato chip dinner, the only The only dinner he ate. At the hospital, I feel those hands again. She is here. Has to be. I hear voices that are muffled behind the glass. Is she sniffing me? The animal comes in for the kill. Her razor-sharp incisors extend behind big lips, a pinker than normal tongue brushing against them, like a creature about to start feasting on a carcass. I can smell her too. My animal side is ready for something. I'm here if you want me. Need me. Her voice is enchanting, seductive somehow, though it's hard to describe how. The door opens and I can hear Aunt Candace arguing with the sheriff. He's my nephew, damn it! She means well, but until now, where has she been? The sheriff, in his country drawl that sounds like foghorn leghorn, is trying to glean some sort of information about Dad and the way he treats me. She is, of course, dodging the issue. About that, have you seen the bruises he has? What bruises? He is a teenager and a wrestler, you know. Of course, how would she describe how intense family visits go? No, she won't tell. Another question interferes with her caresses. Why is she here? How is she allowed in the room, and my aunt isn't? I start to move, but can't budge. The bruises are too severe for me to sit up or maneuver into a better position. Through the semi-open doorway, I hear the doctor interject into the argument with, he has lactic acid in a few muscles, and lack of proper nutrition has caused some serious injury to his organs. We can't be sure that it is advisable at this juncture to disturb his rest and recovery. If we can move this conversation to my office, we can better assess what steps need to be taken to ensure the best possible outcome for your nephew. Acid anything sounds horrible. That explains the pain. I volunteer here at the hospital. Do you need anything? There we go. But what are her motives? Is she here to help me or hurt me? My adrenaline is starting to raise with the heart monitor. The smell of liquor permeates into the room. He is here. I close my eyes tight, waiting for the blow. Hey, boy. Figured you're gonna get your old man arrested, huh? Sir, you're not supposed to be in here. She said it so calm that I felt a tinge of confidence well up, like before a wrestling match. I'm immobile, though. Come on there, darling, let me have a private word with this no-good piece of... There's a sound of a struggle. A metallic tray goes flying to the ground, clanging down the hallway. Get your damn hands off me! I have the right to speak to my son, damn it! Sir, calm down, or I will cite you for resisting arrest. The deputy sounds like Officer Strong, a short, bald former Marine that has already served 8 years in Iraq. His voice sounds like gravel. Security personnel sits with Dad and he is ranting, but the door being shut drowns out some of his obscenities. He is an ass for doing this to you. I have to go, but I will be back tonight, okay? I want to say don't go, but I understand why she is leaving. The doctor steps into the room, and when he opens the door, the faint sounds of Dad's rants can still be heard. Angela, can you pick up the trays and silverware from the cart that lunatic knocked over? His voice is very calm, but the agitation was clear. The door is reopened, and she leaves reluctantly. To me, he says, Now, where are we? Yes, how are you feeling? I want to say, what the hell do you think? But what comes out is, okay, which is really far from the truth. The screech of that metallic stool that presides in every medical room around the world begins to focus back to my surroundings. Sounds of the heart monitor, smells of bleach and blood rush into clarity. His brute cologne creeps closer. So, going for a bike ride, were we? Can you tell me what caused all the bruises you have? After a minute of reluctant silence on my part, he digressed. Well, let me tell you what I know, and you can stop me if I'm heading down the wrong way, down a wrong road, okay? If I am right, say nothing. If I am wrong, just make a sound. After taking a minute to check my body and grabbing a clipboard I know because it was a woody sound and seemed out of place in this sterile environment. I think that your dad has left more than one mark on you. Silence. I also think that wrestling plays its part as well. However, I believe that you have been sexually abused by your father. At this, I grunt loudly. He would rather beat me down than touch me sexually. He doesn't I think, because of how I keep him away. At the first blow, I urinate. If it escalates to a full-on wailing, I vomit on him. Excuse me for coughing. In my zoology class, I have learned that some animals have mechanisms that keep predators from killing them. These are mine. Before he can ask more questions, he is interrupted by something. I can't see what it is because I refuse to open my eyes. He moves to my monitor. His shadow and white coat are in front of the white lights. Crash. I hear the flat line, but feel fine. I can't feel my heart, though, and that is weird. Nurse! The doctor sounds frantic, but I don't understand why immediately. Then it hits me like a brick to the face. My face feels numb, but only on my left side. A stroke? The room suddenly gets dimmer. Where once the brightness of lights was almost too much for me to handle, it is now being dimmed. A crash through the door signaled the entrance of a crash cart and a team of nurses. And I say team because there were multiple blurs that swung into view before darkness. There were no dreams, no great lights at the end of the tunnel, just darkness. Consciousness was a sound. In fact, it was a series of sounds. Fox News, more to the point, Bill O'Reilly talking to Bill Maher about a subject that both are diluting with not so subtle jabs at each other. Then next was a light, small, yellow, a bedside lamp on my right side. Between lulls in their argument, the heart monitor gives off its normal rhythmic beep, beep, beep. Still no physical feeling right now, but the other senses are coming back slowly. I want to drift back to sleep, but I have the same feeling of wanting to be awake that I get if I try to sleep in on the weekends. My body doesn't like laziness, I guess, but predators, well, animals, often sleep with their senses heightened. I have a feeling it's a hand. She is here. There it is. Her breathing is calm and rhythmic. She is asleep or just that calm. Another part of me wants to react, take the opportunity to strike even though I'm hindered, but the different tubes and monitors attached to me. Instead, I relax. Let her make the first move. She does when she notices the rapid succession of spikes in my heart monitor. I feel the depression to my right on the bedside. She checks the tubes and looks at me. I know she is because of the angle of her breath is coming from, nearly directly overhead. I chance to look, and I see light blue with white trim, her uniform. It is dark, which I know, not only because of it is dim in the room, but because Bill O'Reilly doesn't come on till around 6 and it replays later in the evening. Awake, are you? I don't let her know that I am, but I listen. They had to use shock paddles to bring you back. So if you smell something burnt, it's you. Curious, no burnt smell, but I do feel warm. Yes, I'm starting to feel my body again, but not fully. She continues assuming that I am hearing her every word. Your dad has also been taken to jail. He looked like Hannibal Lecter when they finally got him subdued. So you know you have your own Facebook page that the wrestlers put together for you. It's a get well card online or something. Thanks, guys. Hey, I managed that, but what are we going to talk about? And now it hits me fully. I can actually feel the damn paddle marks now. Some sort of balm is on them. I smell blood mainly, but there's a hint of what? Cherry? She sees my face contort in pain. Quickly, she rests her hand on mine. I knew you were awake. Somewhere I hear the sound of a siren, the ER. Well, you crashed because of some internal bleeding that the initial scan didn't pick up on. Without a sound from me, she continued. Doc had to use an ultrasound to find it, and then he opened you up and stopped it. He came to me after the surgery and told me to stay with you, since we go to the same school, not that I wouldn't do it anyway. I don't know if she spoke any more than that, because I suddenly went out without warning. The next morning, because of the orange rays filtering in and the smell of coffee and toast, my aunt was in the room. Her hand was resting on my leg, which annoyed me for some reason. Her initial reaction to my waking up wasn't what I expected. Her face was contorted in a frown, a very angry frown. I could sense the blame like a slap in the face. She voiced what I was thinking. "I hope you're happy," her tone betraying her pleasant outfit. "They're charging your father, and he tried to kill himself last night in the cell." I couldn't stop her rant, nor could she. She continued with, "And now who the hell do you think you are to get to pay these hospital bills? I can't just drop everything for your damn bills. Enough. No, you need to hear this, damn you. I hope you don't get out of here soon. Your uncle will give you a reason to cost the family money." Her jowls trembled furiously like a snarling bulldog. "I won't be staying with you. I'd rather go into foster care. Fuck you." The doctor flew in quickly. She fought the entire way out of the room. "You will fucking rue the day, boy. Come home and get what's coming to you, you ungrateful vermin. Get your damn hands off me. We're just talking like family." I was relieved to see her taken to the ground and cuffed by the sheriff's deputy. She howled at the cuffs and resorted to begging for them to not take her to jail. Like a cruel crocodile, she waited for signs of life before attempting to drag my despair further into the water. Child Protective Services were different types of predators, but I realized that I am a helpless victim for them. I asked to be remanded to the custody of my wrestling coach, but the annoying lady from CPS, whose large nose didn't fit her face, declared that I was too unpredictable for her liking. She wanted me in a boys' home with 13 other guys, of whom were mostly criminals themselves. From one jungle to a more dangerous one, but for now I enjoy the hospital food, the easy prey, and the complexity of the girl who stays around me, sniffing the air. And that is the end of The Animals Know. So that is a shorter fiction piece. It does address something that I've been trying to work through with my writing and blending kind of more of the, like an animal magnetism when it comes to human beings and how they interact with one another, etc., etc. So, and that's really what I go after. Now, if you felt that I wasn't transitioning smoothly somewhere, let me know. Tell me where I was convoluted at or kind of stuck. And then if you really want to take a stab of reading it, again, Hell's Waiting Room and Other Stories is on Amazon. You can get it in Kindle or print format. Well, that's going to end today's show. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and I look forward to really getting into those submissions for next week. Starting now, even if you want to submit for next week, you can. Generally, I would like Monday through Thursday to be the submission days, and then Friday we will do the longer show. So if you hear the show pop on during the week, it's pretty much calling for submissions and some important announcements. Have a great day, everybody.